By the time you hit 80, your muscles may have already lost half their strength. But it doesn't have to be that way. Stick around to discover the 7 science-backed habits that let some seniors stay strong, independent, and active well into their 90s. Hey everyone. After diving deep into the latest research from places like the Mayo Clinic, Harvard Medical School, and the Journal of Physiology, I found something shocking. By age 80, most people have lost half their muscle mass, yet some seniors are still hiking mountains and playing tennis like they're 50. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 science-backed habits that let these super-agers stay strong, independent, and sharp well into their 90s. Habits most doctors never talk about. You'll see how tiny daily choices, from hormetic stress to protein timing, can make a massive difference. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. And before we dive in, drop a comment. Have you noticed any changes in your strength or energy as you've gotten older? Or maybe you've seen a loved one struggle with weakness or balance. Let me know below. We're all in this together. You've probably never heard of hormetic stress, but some of the strongest seniors in the world use it every day, and it's helping them stay active, sharp, and independent well into their 80s and 90s. So what exactly is hormetic stress? It's a fancy term for something pretty simple: exposing your body to small amounts of stress on purpose. And believe it or not, that kind of stress actually makes you stronger. Think of it like this. When you lift weights, you're putting stress on your muscles. That tiny bit of damage signals your body to repair and grow them back even stronger. The same idea applies with hormetic stress, but instead of weights, we're talking about things like cold showers, saunas, short bursts of intense exercise, or even fasting. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone want to feel uncomfortable? But here's the twist. These little stressors trigger powerful biological responses that help protect your cells, boost energy, and slow down aging. Let's start with cold exposure. Some seniors end their showers with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. Others take short, cold plunges. Sounds crazy, right? But research shows this helps activate brown fat, which burns calories and supports muscle health. It also increases mitochondrial biogenesis. That's just a science way of saying your cells get better at producing energy. Then there's sauna use. Yes, sitting in a hot room might seem relaxing, but it's actually giving your body a mild stress workout. Studies from Finland found that people who used saunas 4 to 7 times a week had 40% less muscle loss over 10 years compared to those who didn't. How? Heat exposure triggers heat shock proteins, which protect your muscle cells and help repair damage. Intermittent fasting is another form of hormetic stress that super-agers swear by. By eating within an 8 to 10-hour window each day, they give their bodies time to clean out damaged cells through a process called autophagy. This keeps their muscles working more efficiently. One study showed that doing this for just 12 weeks boosted mitochondrial activity in muscles by up to 10%. And then there's something called isometric muscle contractions. These are short, powerful pushes or pulls against immovable objects, like pushing against a wall as hard as you can for 5 seconds. These quick bursts send strong signals to your muscles to stay active and strong without putting pressure on your joints. The key with all of these techniques is that they must be short, intentional, and followed by rest. Overdoing it can cause harm. But when done right, they activate genes like FOXO and sirtuins, which work to keep your muscles young and functional. So if you thought getting older meant slowing down, think again. These seniors aren't just surviving, they're thriving, all thanks to a little bit of smart stress. You've probably heard it 100 times. Eat more protein if you want to stay strong. But what if I told you that when you eat, your protein is actually more important than how much? Most seniors make the mistake of eating almost all their protein in one big meal, usually dinner. They'll have cereal or toast for breakfast and maybe a sandwich at lunch, then finish the day with a steak or chicken breast. That might sound normal, but science says it's not doing your muscles any favors. Here's why. Your body can only use about 25 to 30 grams of protein at a time to build and repair muscle. So if you eat 90 grams in one sitting, your body doesn't store the extra. It just gets flushed away. You're basically wasting most of it. That's called anabolic resistance, and it starts kicking in around age 60. It means your muscles don't respond as well to protein unless you give them smaller, more frequent doses throughout the day. Researchers at the University of Texas did a study where they split seniors into two groups. One group ate most of their protein at dinner, while the other spread it evenly across 3 meals. Same total amount of protein, but guess what? The group that spread it out built 25% more muscle over just 12 weeks. That's huge. And the best part? It didn't require any special diet, supplements, or gym routines, just better timing. So what does this look like in real life? Let's say you need about 75 grams of protein a day. Instead of having 20 grams at breakfast, 20 grams at lunch, and 35 grams at dinner, flip it. Aim for 25 to 30 grams at each meal. That could be 2 eggs and a Greek yogurt smoothie in the morning, a grilled chicken salad at lunch, and baked salmon with veggies at dinner. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And here's another tip. Start your day with protein. Most people reach for toast, oatmeal, or coffee for breakfast, but that's missing the mark. Starting the day with quality protein helps kickstart muscle repair right when your body needs it most. Some super-agers even add a small protein-rich snack in the evening, like cottage cheese or a handful of almonds, to keep the muscle-building process going through the night. The key takeaway is this. Your muscles are like little engines. They need regular fuel to keep running. If you wait too long between protein hits, your body goes into breakdown mode instead of build mode. So whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, spreading your protein out during the day is one of the easiest and most powerful things you can do to protect your strength and independence. And the best part? Once you get into the habit, it's simple to maintain. No complicated recipes or expensive shakes needed, just smart, consistent choices. Let's move on to the next surprising habit that keeps super-agers so strong. You've probably heard that vitamin D is important for your bones, but did you know it's also one of the most powerful nutrients when it comes to keeping your muscles strong as you age? Most seniors don't get enough vitamin D, and that's a big problem. In fact, more than 80% of older adults are deficient in this critical nutrient. And what happens when your levels are low? Your muscles weaken faster, your balance gets worse, and you're far more likely to fall. Harvard Medical School researchers looked into this and found something eye-opening. Seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% more muscle strength than those who were low. They also reacted faster, moved better, and stayed on their feet more often. That's because vitamin D doesn't just help your bones absorb calcium, it actually turns on the genes responsible for building and maintaining muscle. Every cell in your body has vitamin D receptors, and when they get enough of it, your muscles work better and recover faster. So where do most people go wrong? First off, we rely too much on sunlight. Yes, your skin makes vitamin D when exposed to the sun, but as you age, your skin becomes less efficient at doing that. By the time you're 65, your ability to make vitamin D from sunlight drops by nearly 50%. So even if you spend time outside, it might not be enough. Second, many seniors don't eat enough vitamin D-rich foods. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products all help top up your levels naturally. But even then, it's usually not enough without extra support. That's where supplementation comes in. Studies show that taking 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D daily can make a real difference, especially during winter months, or if you live in areas with limited sunshine. But here's an important detail most people miss. Vitamin D works best when paired with vitamin K2. Without K2, calcium from your diet can end up in the wrong places, like your arteries, instead of your bones and muscles where it belongs. That's why super-agers, who stay strong well into their 80s, often take both vitamins together. And it's not just about preventing weakness. Low vitamin D levels have been linked to slower walking speed, poor balance, and a higher risk of falls, some of the biggest concerns for seniors. Getting your levels checked is simple. A quick blood test can tell you exactly where you stand. Doctors consider anything below 20 nanograms per milliliter as deficient, while optimal levels are generally above 40 nanograms per milliliter. The good news? Boosting your vitamin D doesn't require fancy treatments or expensive pills. It starts with awareness, a few lifestyle tweaks, and smart supplementation. So if you want to keep moving, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or even playing with grandkids without struggling, vitamin D could be one of your best allies. Let's move on to another surprising habit that keeps muscles strong long into old age. You might not feel it, but there's a quiet enemy working against your strength as you age. It doesn't come with pain or fever, but it can steal your muscle and independence faster than you realize. That enemy is chronic inflammation. Scientists even have a name for it: inflammaging. It's like having a low-burning fire inside your body that never goes out. And over time, this constant state of alert damages your muscles, slows recovery, and makes it harder to build strength, even if you eat well and exercise. A study from Tufts University found something alarming. Seniors with the highest levels of inflammation lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with lower levels. And it wasn't because of diet or workouts. It was because their bodies were stuck in damage mode. So what causes this kind of inflammation? One big source is poor sleep. Yes, not getting enough rest or sleeping in a room full of light and noise can spike inflammatory markers by up to 40%. That's why super-agers who stay strong into their 80s make sleep a top priority. They go to bed at the same time every night and sleep in complete darkness. No phones, no lights, nothing to disturb the body's natural rhythm. Another surprising cause? Your gut. As we age, our digestive system changes. Friendly bacteria that used to help us digest food and fight bad bugs start to disappear. This shift leads to something called leaky gut, where toxins escape into the bloodstream and trigger inflammation throughout the body. That's why many strong seniors focus on gut-friendly foods. They eat fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut. They also eat a wide variety of colorful fruits and veggies. Some say they aim for more than 30 different plant-based foods each week. These foods feed good gut bacteria and keep the gut lining strong. But it's not just about what you eat. How you move matters too. Super-agers don't overdo it. They know intense workouts every day can actually make inflammation worse. Instead, they mix gentle mobility work, like walking or stretching, with short bursts of intensity once or twice a week. This balance keeps them moving without setting off the body's alarm bells. They also use natural anti-inflammatories. Things like omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil, turmeric, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil are regular parts of their routine. These aren't miracle cures, but they help keep inflammation under control when used consistently. And here's one test you can do. Ask your doctor for a high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, blood test. This simple check tells you how much inflammation is floating around in your body. Most healthy adults should have levels below 1.0 milligrams per liter. But many seniors, who otherwise seem fine, have levels 3 to 5 times higher. That's a red flag. The good news? Inflammation isn't permanent. You can turn it around with smart lifestyle choices. And doing so could mean the difference between staying strong or slowly losing the ability to do the things you love. Let's dive into another habit that helps super-agers stay sharp and powerful. You've probably heard a lot about protein, carbs, and fats, but here's something most people don't talk about: tiny nutrients called micronutrients that play a huge role in keeping muscles strong as we age. Most seniors focus on eating enough protein or getting some exercise, but they often miss the real secret: making sure your body has all the small vitamins and minerals it needs to use that protein and keep your muscles working at their best. Let's start with magnesium. This mineral is involved in over 300 reactions in the body related to muscle function. And guess what? More than 70% of seniors are low in magnesium, and it's hurting their strength without them even knowing it. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with good magnesium levels had 30% stronger grip strength and better physical performance than those who were lacking. Magnesium helps muscles relax and contract properly, and it also plays a key role in energy production. Super-agers know this, so they make sure to get it from both food, like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate, and high-quality supplements like magnesium glycinate or threonate. Then there's creatine. Most people think it's just for young gym goers, but research shows it's one of the best allies for seniors wanting to stay strong. A 2015 study from McMaster University showed that when older adults combined resistance training with creatine supplementation, they gained more muscle mass, improved strength, and even saw cognitive benefits. Creatine works by boosting energy production in muscle cells. Taking just 3 to 5 grams daily can help improve muscle endurance, increase lean mass, and support brain health too. And unlike many supplements, creatine has been studied for decades and is safe for long-term use. Another big player is methylated B12. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid, which makes it harder to absorb regular B12. That's why super-agers go straight for the active form, methylcobalamin. It supports nerve function, energy, and muscle control. Many multivitamins still use cyanocobalamin, which the body has to convert before it can use it, which means it might not be helping you as much as you think. Zinc, selenium, and chromium also play quiet but powerful roles. These trace minerals help regulate insulin sensitivity and support protein synthesis, two things that become more important as we age. A Tufts University study found that seniors with optimal levels of these minerals maintain 22% more muscle mass over 5 years compared to those who were deficient. Super-agers don't just take a generic multivitamin and call it a day. They test their levels, find out what they're missing, and then supplement smartly. That way, they're not wasting money on pills they don't need, and they're giving their bodies exactly what they require to stay strong. And remember, these aren't miracle workers. They work best when paired with good nutrition, movement, and the other habits we're uncovering throughout this video. Let's move on to another surprising habit that keeps seniors strong well into their 90s. You might not think about it often, but your muscles don't work on their own. They only do what your brain tells them to do. And as we age, that connection between brain and muscle can start to fade. That's why even if you eat well and exercise, you might still feel weaker or slower than before. The real problem? Your brain isn't talking to your muscles like it used to. This is called the neuromuscular connection, and it's one of the biggest reasons some seniors stay strong while others struggle just to get up from a chair. Think of it like this. Your nerves are like electrical wires, and your muscles are the lights they power. If the wires get old or damaged, the lights don't turn on as bright or at all. Super-agers know this, and that's why they focus on keeping those wires sharp and strong. They don't just lift weights or walk. They challenge their brains and bodies at the same time. Coordination exercises like Tai Chi, dancing, table tennis, or balance drills force your brain to send new signals to your muscles. These aren't just fun activities. They're brain workouts that build stronger connections between your nervous system and your muscles. A 2020 study found that older adults who did coordination-based movement twice a week kept their neuromuscular links 31% better than those who didn't. That means their brains could activate their muscles more effectively, making every move easier, faster, and safer. But it doesn't stop there. Super-agers also use special nutrients that protect those delicate nerve endings. Things like alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine help fight off oxidative damage that can weaken the brain-muscle link over time. And here's something most people don't know. Certain forms of B1, like benphotiamine and huperzine A, found in Chinese club moss, actually boost acetylcholine, a key brain chemical responsible for muscle activation. More acetylcholine means better communication between your brain and your muscles. Even simple breathing techniques play a role. Deep, controlled breaths stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps regulate how your body responds to stress and how well your brain talks to your muscles. One technique called box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold again for 4, can increase muscle activation by 15% in just 5 minutes a day. And get this, mental activity matters too. A groundbreaking study from Columbia University showed that seniors who regularly did mentally challenging tasks, like puzzles, reading, or strategy games, had better muscle function than those who didn't. Why? Because the brain pathways used for thinking and moving are closely linked. So when you keep your brain active, you're also helping your muscles stay ready. So if you want to stay strong, don't just focus on lifting heavier. Focus on moving smarter, thinking harder, and breathing deeper. Your muscles are only as good as the messages they receive from your brain. And super-agers make sure those messages are always crystal clear. Let's move on to another surprising habit that keeps seniors strong well into their 90s. Let's talk about the most powerful habit that keeps seniors strong. And it's not about walking more or stretching gently. It's about something most people don't expect: lifting weights. Yes, resistance training is the secret weapon of the strongest seniors in the world. And no, you don't have to look like a bodybuilder to benefit from it. In fact, just 2 short sessions a week can make a huge difference in how you feel, move, and live. You've probably heard that muscle loss speeds up after 60. By age 80, many people have lost nearly half their muscle mass. But here's the good news. Research shows that even at 80 or 90, you can still build strength if you train the right way. And that right way? Progressive resistance training. This means slowly increasing how hard your muscles work over time. Now think of it like this. If you always lift the same light weight, your muscles never get challenged. But if you push a little harder each week, just a tiny bit more, you tell your body it needs to stay strong. A groundbreaking study from the University of Alabama found that older adults who followed a progressive resistance program for just 12 weeks gained 3.3 pounds of muscle on average. They also improved balance, brain function, and blood sugar control, all from lifting weights just a couple times a week. So what exactly makes this type of training so effective? First, it focuses on compound movements, exercises that work multiple muscles at once. Things like squats, rows, push-ups, or modified deadlifts. These moves give you the biggest return on your effort because they engage your whole body, not just one isolated part. Second, super-agers pay close attention to form and safety. They don't rush. They start with lighter weights or even just body weight and slowly build up. Many use resistance bands or machines before moving to free weights, and they always warm up properly. Third, they focus on the eccentric phase. That's the slow lowering part of the movement. For example, when doing a bicep curl, the eccentric part is bringing the weight back down slowly instead of dropping it. This builds strength without putting too much pressure on joints, which is perfect for seniors. But the most important part of all? They track progress and keep pushing a little more each time. One week they might do 10 reps with 5-pound weights. The next they try 12 reps, or switch to 8-pound weights. Over time, those small changes add up to big results. And here's the best part. You don't need a gym to do this. You can start at home with light dumbbells, water bottles, or even a backpack filled with books. Resistance bands are also great tools that offer varying levels of challenge. Most importantly, resistance training isn't risky. It's protective. Seniors who do it regularly fall less, feel stronger, and stay independent longer. So if you want to keep doing the things you love, like playing with grandkids, gardening, or traveling, this is the habit you need to start building now. You probably don't think about your breathing much. After all, it's automatic, right? But here's something most people never consider. The way you breathe can actually affect how strong and coordinated your muscles are. Yes, that's right. Some of the strongest seniors in the world use special breathing techniques to keep their muscles active, balanced, and powerful, even as they age. It all starts with a part of your nervous system called the vagus nerve. This long nerve connects your brain to many parts of your body, including your heart, lungs, and even your muscles. When you control your breath in specific ways, you stimulate this nerve, and that sends signals that help your muscles work better. One of the most popular methods among super-agers is called box breathing. It's simple but powerful. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold again for 4. Repeat this cycle 5 times, and you'll feel more focused, calm, and, most importantly, your muscles will respond better to movement. Harvard researchers found that doing this kind of controlled breathing for just 5 minutes a day can increase muscle activation by up to 15%. That means your brain talks to your muscles more clearly, helping them fire faster and stronger. But how does that happen? When you breathe deeply and rhythmically, you improve the flow of oxygen to your muscles and brain. This helps your body stay in a relaxed but alert state, perfect for movement. It also lowers stress hormones like cortisol, which can break down muscle over time. Some seniors take this a step further by practicing diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. Instead of shallow chest breathing, they fill their stomachs with air, pushing their belly out as they inhale. This deeper form of breathing engages the core muscles and improves posture, balance, and even endurance during daily activities. And get this, breathing techniques aren't just good for your body. They're great for your brain too. A study from Stanford University showed that older adults who practiced controlled breathing regularly had better coordination and reaction times. Their brains worked faster, and so did their muscles. Super-agers often start their day with a few minutes of deep breathing. Others do it before workouts to wake up their muscles, and some even use it before standing up from a chair or walking upstairs, just to make sure their body is ready for action. It's not about taking big, dramatic breaths. It's about being intentional, breathing with purpose instead of just going through the motions. So, if you've ever felt like your muscles were slow to respond, or your balance wasn't what it used to be, it might not be your muscles at fault. It could be your breathing. And the good news? Anyone can do it. No equipment needed, no gym membership. Just a few minutes a day and a willingness to pay attention to something you already do hundreds of times without thinking. Let's move on to another surprising habit that keeps super-agers strong well into their 90s. You don't need fancy supplements or expensive powders to fight muscle loss as you age. Some of the best tools are already hiding in your kitchen. Sarcopenia, the slow loss of muscle that happens with aging, doesn't have to be a one-way street. And while protein timing, resistance training, and micronutrients all play a role, what you eat every day can either speed up or slow down this process. Super-agers who stay strong into their 80s and 90s know this well. They don't just eat healthy, they eat strategically. Their diets include foods that not only nourish the body, but also protect muscles, reduce inflammation, and support brain-muscle communication. Let's start with fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which do more than just support heart health. Studies show they help preserve muscle mass by reducing inflammation and boosting protein synthesis. Just 2 servings a week can make a real difference. Then there's eggs, especially the yolks. Many seniors skip them because of cholesterol fears, but that's a mistake. Egg yolks are packed with vitamin D, choline, and high-quality protein, all essential for muscle function. Plus, they're easy to digest and perfect for breakfast or snacks. Dairy products like Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are also big favorites among super-agers. They offer a mix of protein, calcium, and probiotics that support gut health and muscle strength. Many seniors add a small serving at night to keep muscle repair going while they sleep. But it's not all about animal-based foods. Plant-based proteins like lentils, black beans, quinoa, and tofu are also powerful allies. They provide fiber, antioxidants, and plant-based amino acids that help maintain muscle without spiking blood sugar. And then there's something called fermented foods, like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and miso. These aren't just trendy. They help balance gut bacteria, which plays a direct role in reducing chronic inflammation and improving nutrient absorption. Super-agers often eat at least one fermented food daily. They also load up on colorful fruits and veggies. Berries, cherries, spinach, and kale are rich in polyphenols, natural compounds that fight oxidative stress and support muscle recovery. Green tea is another favorite, offering similar benefits in liquid form. One surprising superfood? Dark chocolate. Yes, the kind with at least 70% cocoa is rich in flavonoids that improve blood flow to muscles and reduce fatigue. A small square a day can actually help with energy and endurance. And let's not forget nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds pack magnesium, zinc, and healthy fats that support muscle function and nerve signaling. Super-agers don't just eat these foods once in a while. They build meals around them, making sure each day includes a mix of muscle-friendly nutrients. They also rotate their choices. Some days it's salmon and broccoli. Other days it's lentil soup with turmeric and olive oil. This variety ensures they get a wide range of nutrients that work together to keep muscles strong. So if you want to stay active, independent, and full of energy well into your later years, your plate might be the most important tool you have.